From the East Cobb Baseball Complex in Metro Atlanta, it's the 2014 13U Travel Ball National Championships, where today the Motor City Hit Dogs from Michigan take on the Stealth from Florida. Hello again, everybody, and thanks for joining us here on TravelBallSelect.com. This is the 2014 Travel Ball Select 13U National Championship. Alongside my broadcast partner, Rob Bruno, I'm Chris Mooneyham. We are so pleased to have you join us for two consecutive games here on Field 1 for the rest of the afternoon here in Marietta, Metro Atlanta, as we will crown a national champion for not just 13U, but 14U coming up a little bit later. Right now, we focus on the 13-year-olds.
Two great matchups here. Motor City, big physical kids, can absolutely pound the ball. And you've got the comeback kids in the Stealth who've come back from 2 or 3 different games. They were down 4-0. They were down 8-4. They were down 10-7. They came back in that final inning to win 11-10. Unbelievable comeback.
They were down 10-7 and came back to beat the Vipers of Carolina. 11-10 the final in that final elimination bracket ball game, getting themselves into this national championship affair. And to lead things off, Jordan Alvarez, the center fielder for the Stealth.
You've got a team that just is playing with emotion right now. You wonder if they can stay up or they have a little bit of a letdown in the Stealth here, where you've got a very rested team in the Motor City Hit Dogs here. You know, it could catch fire for the Stealth. It's a team that's not been able to get any leads. They've always come back to every single time here, though.
These two teams met in the final winners bracket ball game. Motor City won that ball game 7-5 to advance on to the championship game, and Stealth, as we mentioned, fell into the elimination bracket, where they then won their next ball game, taking down the Carolina Blue, the Vipers.
Chris, you know it's a big game when you've got 4 umpires. You know, behind the dish, we've got John Turner, Gary Maxwell at first. Chris Mazzoni, you might recognize that last name, Mazzoni, umpiring second, and Vic Lewis at third. This is a good crew. They're the best of the best that we've seen, and that's apropos for a big game like this.
Nicholas Wells now, the second baseman for the Stealth. The boys out of Delray might be their home base. The Stealth out of Florida, so it's Florida versus Michigan. Two very well-known youth programs battling for the 13U National Championship, and a strike on the outside corner.
Again, the Stealth is made up of a lot of kids through South and Central Florida. I would think Fort Lauderdale is actually their home. Speaking to Coach Anthony Russo, the director of the program.
This team being led by Carm Mazza, Joe Sharkey, and Anthony Russo. Reese Trahey on the mound for the Hit Dogs, by the way. We'll give you his inning numbers here in just a moment.
Spoke to the coach yesterday. Reese is one of their top 3 or 4. They're kind of interchangeable, Chris. There's just some big, strong guys on this club, and they're all 6 foot, 6'1"-ish, nice, loose, good, strong 13-year-old kids, and they're well rested. They've got a few left here.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
According to the official statistics we were given, as Reese gets himself a strikeout in as many batters, this is the first time he has thrown in the championship. I don't know. Can that be right?
It could be.
So, yes, indeed, they are fresh.
Absolutely. Here's Evans, and Evans is a heck of a shortstop. He's kind of their go-to guy on this club.
Garrett takes ball 1.
Good size shortstop, good athlete. Just missed outside. And it's warming up a little bit out here, Chris.
Oh, yeah. As we knew it would, didn't we?
Can get a little sweltering once in a while. The cloud cover comes in handy.
Stealth came into bracketed play as the number 1 team after pool play. Called strike 3. Strike 2. Well,
on the outside corner, the umpire was
dig me out there.
Pretty active on that one. For you Naked Gun fans, a little bit of a Rico Palazzi call.
I see what he's got going on there.
Yeah,
Rico.
that was a 3.
There you go. Great reference.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 3-2 now. Thank you.
Showing my age possibly on that one. That's okay.
No, no, wait a minute.
That's one of the classics.
Yeah.
Well, you remember that. You're a young.
Yeah,
You're a veritable
thanks.
young man.
Deep to left. This one hooking and foul.
Yeah. Evans really put a charge into that. He's a good-looking athlete. You know, he's got the broad shoulders and runs well, and you know, it looks like he's going to grow. Good-looking shortstop. He's out of the Orlando area. There's a couple kids that are out of that Orlando area, and that's a great baseball area. That's for sure. One of the best in the country, as is most of Florida.
Fastball stays high, so it's been either walk or strikeout here. First inning for Trahey.
Catcher did an interesting job. He kind of deked on, kind of pounding his glove a little bit on inside, then he shifted outside, kind of to deke the hitter. This is Rivera. He's another one of the heart and soul guys of this club. He's been with them for 4 years, 5 years. I mean, since he's like 9 years old. He's one of the original Stealth.
Mr. Stealth, right?
He's one of the Stealth guys. He's again the old Reggie Jackson, the old straw that stirs the drink. But he's another one of their go-to guys, as is Evans, as is Wells and Alvarez, and they've got some guys that are big parts that have been there for years and years. You know,
Of course,
that's one of the reasons, Chris. Why I think they can come back. They're really kind of a brotherhood over there.
You read my mind. That's exactly what I was about to say. When you play for a big-time program like Stealth that's been in some big-time games, you get in those big moments like they had over on Field 2 against the Carolina Blue Vipers. They trailed 10-7 against one of the best teams in the country going into the bottom half of the final frame, yet never panicked.
Nope. They kind of got excited. They just felt it. Very interesting.
So again, for those of you just tuning in, the Stealth reached this championship game via a 4-run bottom half of the 7th inning to come back and beat Carolina from 10-7 down to 11-10 winners, all in the bottom half of the final frame.
Pretty good pitch. Just must somehow missed.
Sounded low.
Yeah, and again, that's right. The Stealth were down 7-0 to Motor City and came back, made it 7-5 with bases loaded with 2 outs, and they got a pop up, but they were 1 pitch away from tying that game up.
This one to left
well
and deep. It's going to 1 or 2 hop close to the wall. Left fielder comes up with it. This could be a close play at third, except for no one's home. Catcher does a good job of keeping his eye on it and coming over to cut it off. So runners now at second and third with 2 men gone, top half of the first. It's a double for Rivera. Stealth, as I mentioned, came in as the #1 seed in 2 bracketed play, beat La Miranda 12-6, then Team Mizuno 8-7, and then fell to Motor City, and then beat the Vipers, of course, as we mentioned, in their last ball game, 11-10.
And coming in, La Miranda was one of the favorites. They had some injuries during the tournament, which really kind of hurt them a little bit. A couple of their top guns went down, and nobody has that much depth when you have 3 of your top guys going down a little bit. It's going to affect it.
Ground ball down to second. A couple of hops and a couple of bobbles, but a good job by the second baseman, Bowen, to stay with it and end the inning. A couple of guys reached top half of the first, but no score in the 13U National Championship game on TravelBallSelect.com. Bottom of the first. And the Motor City Hit Dogs to the plate. It's Jace Bowen to lead things off. And he cuts and misses.
A little bit of a wild swing there.
It'll be Jace Bowen, Ben Hindman, and Spencer Schwellenbach.
Say that 3 times fast.
No thanks. I got a long day ahead of me.
Yeah.
The guaranteed 3 in the home half of the first. Foul back into the screen. Starting pitcher for the Florida Stealth is Nelson Berwich.
Berkwich.
Thank you.
Like sandwich. Wish we could use one now. What? That is it? No, it's not Firebird. What's Firestone? What are the?
Oh, the place we had last week.
Right.
Yeah, Firehouse.
Firehouse.
Yeah.
Fire something. Outstanding sub sandwiches.
They were, indeed.
A little free plug there.
Yeah. We know who to ask for a sponsorship next year,
That's
don't we?
right. The old Firehouse.
Right.
Yes.
Motor City came into bracketed play as the number 3 seed, going 3-1 in pool play. Bowen draws a walk to start the bottom half of the first. Motor City with a 5-2 win over the Vipers, then a 12-11 win over the East Cobb Braves. They then fell to the Evo Shield team 13-1 before winning their last pool play game 6-5 over Tidewater, the Drillers, who were just eliminated a couple hours ago.
In a very tough game.
Right. Berkwich, the lefty, kicks and fires a bunt that's right back to him. He'll field and throw out Hindman at first.
He was thinking about that force at second, thought better, let's get the for sure out, and that's what they did. Schwellenbach, the shortstop, now batting, the 3-hitter. This is a pretty physical group, 1 through 9 for Motor City. And you're going to recognize the last name of the young man coming up next.
Schwellenbach, by all accounts, very good contact man. Who you want in the 3-hole. Lefty checks and kicks and fires a fastball that sweeps outside for ball 2. It's Nino Puckett on deck. Schwellenbach had to work a little bit to get out of the way of that one.
Yes, he did.
Nice. Beautiful pitch right on the black.
It sure was. Mr. John Turner behind the dish as the umpire, part of the National Umpires Association. We have a really good crew here today.
Yeah.
Jim Strohs, national director there. Got a heck of a group. These guys are from North Carolina, Michigan, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Ohio, and Canada. This umpire crew this week. So we've seen some of the best of the best.
Yep. That only stands to reason, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Best players, best officials. This ball continues to carry into center and deep. And at about 370, maybe 375, that one caught just before the track. Tagging and moving down to third is Bowen.
Now, interestingly enough, how many times does an umpire crew have an absolute website? And they do. NUA umpires USA.org. So www. So a little plug for those guys.
Yep.
They do a heck of a job. Mr. Pickett, yes, he's related to Kirby Pickett. This is his nephew.
This is Kirby Puckett's nephew.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
The late Kirby Puckett, one of the best players of all time. Some of the things that he could do in the outfield, some of the great plays that he made, some of the great hits. This young man has won many a home run derby in his time, by the way.
Yeah.
I saw him hit a ball or two yesterday right to the right center gap. That's a power area for him, right center.
This one he skies to right, hooking down the line. It'll stay foul by about a foot and a half. Yeah, Kirby Puckett had an amazing career. Really, in some ways, a very underrated career, and of course, delivered one of the biggest home runs in baseball history.
Sure did.
And his name for a long time was not to be spoken in Atlanta, of course, which is where we're at right now if you're just tuning in. Of course, that home run came in Game 6 of the '91 World Series against Charlie Lee Brandt and the Atlanta Braves.
You kind of remember that, kind of like how I remember Kirk Gibson hitting a home run for the Dodgers against my Oakland A's.
Yeah.
Similar hurt.
Don't you mean Kirk Bleepin Gibson?
That's right.
Right.
I thought it was actually, wasn't that way back Bucky Bleepin Dent? They used to call him,
It just passes on throughout the years. Yeah, everybody takes
a lot of
that.
bleeps
Right.
there. In that
David
respect.
Freese holds that title right now. Yeah.
David Freese, who Mr. October, but he doesn't seem to get done as much in April through September.
Right.
There's his power alley.
Right center and carrying deep, nearly to the track, making the call and the catch. The right fielder stays with it, and Dorsonville doesn't have a problem with it. That'll bring us to the end of one. No score from Atlanta.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
This is Nations Baseball.
Matty Ice to the plate, driven, high, deep, gone. Gets over the fence by about a foot.
Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
That's it. 3 in a row to first base, and that will end it.
Stealth from Florida back to the plate here in the top half of the first inning. A team that no strangers to playing against the best teams in the country.
Year in, year out. They seek it.
Number 2 in the rankings coming into this national championship, according to the Travel Ball National Rankings. Meanwhile, Motor City came in at 18.
Well,
both winning a host of tournaments throughout the Travel Ball season.
A veritable plethora.
Indeed, if you will.
I would think that Motor City will be moving right on up into the rankings here. Nice shot through the right side.
Dane Dorsonville. A lot of people have been abuzz about the performance of this young man this week.
One of the stars of last game to get them there.
Right, right. And now Nicholas Patelli,
who was the big hero of the last game, got the big knock. Mr. Turner, the home plate umpire, is very demonstrative. You know where he stands on every single strike call, and I like that. There's no doubt in his mind. Dane over at first base, pretty good runner, by the way. He really cut the base really well from from third, going into third last game to score that winning run. They're trying to keep that runner close there, trying to control the running game. It's a running situation. It's a good time for a pull hit right here, trying to hit the ball through the right side, move him over to third on a base hit. Got a big gap through the right side now.
Test the second baseman. One, turn, not in time.
Might have pulled his foot a little bit.
Well, he got in front of the game winner that he had against the Vipers. Kind of served it into the outfield. This time he couldn't quite get around on it as much, or as squarely, I suppose the best way to say it. Now here's Ferrara. Chris, the stealth first baseman.
Are you Jim? I knew your name.
On one count on Ferrara. The 13U 2014 Travel Ball National Championships comes down to one game here between Florida and Michigan. Want to remind you folks, depending on, of course, how long this one runs us, at about 3:45 Eastern Time here in the Metro Atlanta area, we'll have the East Cobb Astros and the NorCal team meeting in the 14U championship game.
That's been a game I think both teams have been looking forward to for a long time. I know the NorCal guys have been looking forward to that for about 5 months. When they decided to come here, they thought, all right, if you want to be the best, you beat the best, and East Cobb Astros are the best.
Fastball gets away from Trahey.
In all these teams out here, Chris, that's been the beautiful thing, and we've seen this for weeks now. This is the best of the best, and seeing these kids, it's really tremendous. And what a difference also, we've watched the younger kids, and we watched 12-year-olds this last week, and now we've got this group of 13 and 14-year-olds, and they're just bigger and stronger boys.
Yeah.
On this big field. Nice stop.
It's a thing that probably doesn't get talked about enough. It's probably a big thrill for these guys to get out here and play on the big field. Right? See that
No
big
question.
385 at straightaway center and
No question.
the big batter's eye. 3-2 count, by the way.
This is field one at East Cobb. You don't get any better than this. Runner's going.
Yep. Wow. And he walked him.
Yeah, they started the runner 3-2. I like it.
Stealth won their first ball game of bracketed play, their first game of the week, beat Team Mizuno 10-2, then fell to the famous La Miranda team 10-4. That their only loss as they beat Team Georgia 8-5 on Thursday, and then the East Cobb Braves 12-4 also on Thursday. So 3-1 in pool play.
I think we're gonna check that and see. I believe they actually beat La Miranda.
Center fielder moving back, makes a great running grab right near the track. Yeah. He'll whirl around and throw back into the infield, but the runner is able to tag, and Dorsonville is now at third with 2 men out.
Dorsonville did a nice job tagging on that too. I believe actually they beat La Miranda early. They beat La Miranda twice in this tournament so far. So
In pool play.
Pool play, and then
Did you mean in bracket play or pool?
They beat them in both.
Okay, well, I guess they misprinted it then here in the
they very well
on the
have.
website. Unless I read it wrong. Let me see.
Pretty sure they beat them twice.
Okay. Well, you know better than I do. You were here for that
I
this
was
week.
watching.
I wasn't here on Wednesday, so okay. Yeah, the official website says the Stealth won that ball game 10-4.
Right. Yeah,
okay.
I said the Stealth won. Yeah,
right.
That's correct. Yeah. La Miranda was
my mistake.
Felled a little bit with some injuries, and some of their top guys. I know Felix, one of the top players in the country, came down a little bit of a sore shoulder, and a couple of their other pitchers. So they weren't. They were decimated by injuries. Wasn't quite what they normally have. That particular group has been successful. One of the top, I would almost say the top ranked group in the country the last 2 or 3 years. So 2 or 3 injuries can really help and hurt a top team there, and it's going to really affect them when they play some other top national teams.
Right.
So,
well, you said it. You said it earlier. You can. One of the great things about these teams, they're awfully deep. It's incredible.
Right.
It's impressive just how deep they are. But you can only be so deep.
That's right. That's right. And again, it's a kind of a law of attrition as you get along here. These guys are on their 7th and 8th games.
Right.
And they get tired. They start breaking down a little bit.
Now Nelson Berkwich. Nelson takes one of the dirt for ball 1.
Here's a guy, Berkwich, who is a league-age 12-year-old that's throwing today. Very impressive. He's playing on the big diamond, 60 feet. If he's playing Little League, he's throwing from 46.
Wow.
So here he is throwing from 60 feet, and he's a very good pitcher.
So how dominant would he be?
Incredibly
Look
dominant.
at this.
And he
Great
just got a
butt.
bunt down.
Throw to first in time to end the inning.
Yep.
So nothing doing. Top half of the second inning. And no score. To the bottom of the second we go on TravelBallSelect.com.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10 and then notice what you're basing your assessment on. If you want extra credit, do the same for yourself. How are you sitting right now? How are you moving? How are you breathing? How confident 0 to 10 are you right now in whatever it is that you might be working on in your life? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, founder of the Play Big Academy, and for the last 30 years I've been studying confidence in baseball and business, all aspects of life, and what makes people take action boldly and confidently, and what has people wilt away under the pressure. If you want to take the first step, where I give away my #1 secret, the Hall of Famer's secret, this is what I learned studying Hank Aaron, Rod Crew, Stan Musial, Carly Yastrzemski, interviewing them. This is the #1 secret. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com and do the exercise that's there and feel yourself take that boost to the next level. It's your first step. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com.
Bottom of the second now. Jack Orlowski, Devin Mahanti, and Carter Macias in the bottom half of the second inning.
Big, strong kid, Orlowski. Drove that ball deep foul. 2 trains of thought after a guy pulls the ball foul like that. You can go off speed away, see if he pulls off, or you can come even farther in.
Right. But If you miss in,
you better miss in.
right?
Not over.
That's why I always go for the first.
Yeah.
The former rather than the latter. Yeah.
Well, you being a Steve Glavin fan.
Tom,
Tom,
Glavin.
excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Steve Avery, I'm thinking of.
Oh, well, him too, sure. He did the
Avery
same thing.
painted a little bit too. Was
Well.
Avery the guy that was so great in hockey as well?
No, that was Glavin.
Was it Glavin?
That was Glavin, yeah.
And a great golfer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Triple threat. Triple threat.
Strike 3 outside corner. Yeah, Tommy was drafted, the famous story, of course,
That's
as
right.
most people know, he was drafted by the L.A. Kings.
Yep. Wasn't going to have quite the career Gretzky did, though.
You know, he likes to joke, and I've talked to Tom a few times. He likes to joke that he was drafted ahead of 2 future Hall of Famers.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, that's impressive.
Yeah. I spoke to him a few times throughout the years working in the business, and
Yeah.
eventually I finally broke down and I said, Tommy, all these years I've tried to be a professional media guy, not ask you for this, but could I get your autograph?
Why not?
I'm building a collection.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well,
Mahanti here, the catcher. He's a big, strong kid. Pretty physical kid. That's on that outside corner. That's a Tom Glavin strike right there.
he's got an 0-2 count also.
Yeah, and he's going to probably march that thing another ball out. See what happens here. Or is he going to come in? He's coming inside.
Backing out of play, stays 0-2. Well, here's the problem is that I asked him this months and months before he was elected to the Hall.
Oh, and he
And
would have signed it
he's
Hall of
signing it.
Fame.
Right. He's signing it. And he kind of paused. I said, yeah, what are you going to write next? And he said, well, I'm going to write the amount of wins. And he wrote, his 300-plus wins.
Beautiful.
I said, I should wait a couple months before I ask you. Ground ball into right
so he
field for a
said?
base hit. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I don't want to hear that. Don't jinx it. So,
Yeah.
good guy. Really
Oh.
sharp guy. Sharp wit. You'd love him. You'd love to talk
Yeah.
to him. He's really a
Yeah.
sharp-witted guy, yeah.
A friend of mine is the finance guy for Glavin and for Maddox and Smoltz.
Oh, wow.
Plays a lot of golf with him. He lives in
Yeah.
Scottsdale. Great
Yeah.
guy. Name will go unmentioned at this point. But he says they're just great guys.
Oh,
and Greg Maddox should have been left-handed, he said. He's got a left-handed brain. He's
Oh, yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Just a funny
Absolutely.
guy.
Absolutely. Well, if you saw his Hall of Fame induction ceremony speech just last week, he did not fail to get a shot in on John Smoltz's receding hairline. It's good times. Carter Macias now takes ball 1.
Interesting about Maddox also, he was a heck of a shortstop coming out of high school.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
I did not know
One
that.
of the reasons why he was a Golden Glove guy so many years, pitching-wise, unbelievable shortstop.
Hard hit down to third. Chance at a double play. There's one. The turn at second on to first
Double
for the double play. Tremendous defensive play there. Rivera to Evans covering, and then Evans whirls around and fires to first, and Ferreira digs it out a little bit low, and they complete the double play. So a runner gets on board for the MCHC Motor City Hit Dogs, but they cannot get them in at the end of 2. No score.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. And the only anti-glare product that I use is Warrior Black, and you should too.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring it to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10, and then notice what you're basing your assessment on. If you want extra credit, do the same for yourself. How are you sitting right now? How are you moving? How are you breathing? How confident 0 to 10 are you right now in whatever it is that you might be working on in your life? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, founder of the Play Big Academy, and for the last 30 years, I've been studying confidence in baseball and business, all aspects of life, and what makes people take action boldly and confidently, and what has people wilt away under the pressure. If you want to take the first step, I give away my #1 secret, the Hall of Famer's secret. This is what I learned studying Hank Aaron, Rod Crew, Stan Musial, Carly Yastrzemski, interviewing them. This is the #1 secret. Go to travelballsecrets.com and do the exercise that's there and feel yourself take that boost to the next level. It's your first step. Go to travelballsecrets.com.
Back at the historic East Cobb Baseball Complex, the home of the National Championships for Travel Ball. Thanks for joining us here on TravelBallSelect.com. Alongside Rob Bruno, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Third inning. Florida and Michigan battling for the National Championship for the 13-year-olds. Although you may find it hard to believe when you see the size of some of these young men.
I think the catcher could be the left guard for Michigan State.
Telling you, some of these guys.
Big, strong boy.
Some of these guys. Jordan Alvarez, Nicholas Wells, Garrett Evans, home half of the third.
Top of the lineup.
Or, I'm sorry, visitors half of the third.
Top of the lineup here. Rolled that lineup over a little bit.
You'd never hear all that noise at a Major League Baseball game.
No,
That's
sir,
part of what's great about youth sports.
Yeah, they're exuberant.
Yep.
They're exuberant. These are very good programs, more known for 14 and below. Very successful, both these programs. I've watched the Motor City Hit Dogs at every single level bring some teams in the last 3 tournaments here, and they've all been physical. They've all really known how to play. That's Rick Goff is the director of that program. He's also the head guy here running this tournament, running all the national tournaments. Has done a fantastic job. Anthony Russo has put together quite a squad with the Stealth, the Florida Stealth group down there, and he's got about 5 or 6 teams. They're all younger, and we had a great talk at dinner last night, and he plans to kind of take these guys up to do a great job at the high school level, and they'll segue into that down the line, and he's got a great plan. Both these programs are really done well. They're classy programs.
Roddy Deals.
Pitch out. You know, that was interesting. Well, you've got your leadoff guy. He can run. He kind of gave it away a little bit. He slide-stepped and gave it away, and we would tell our runners that they slide-step, you break it off and turn it into a fake break, and you're not going.
Trahey checks the runner again. Ground ball. Oh, great snag by Trahey. To shortstop covering. On to first. Double play. Beautiful. Beautiful, Rob.
Yeah, a little bit concerned. The throw to second, he kind of pooched it over there instead of giving a good hard throw, but he sure made a nice snag going up the middle on that. That's where those PFPs come in handy in practice for those pitchers. That's something even the big leaguers do every year, spring training and once in a while during the year, just to stay sharp. That's just baseball.
Right.
I really like this Evans kid. He's one of the better players I've seen.
Garrett's got a good eye. He's got some power.
Yeah, plays some good shortstop.
Walked in the first.
Physical kid. Really one of the bigger, more physical kids on this Stealth squad. They've got some young kids on this team. Must have just missed a little bit up. A little bit up.
Sounded inside.
Right.
3-0. Does he take?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Especially because it was ball 4.
Well,
we're fantastic 20-20 after that pitch.
Right.
Absolutely. Evans can run a little bit. You got Rivera coming up now. Wouldn't surprise me if they started the runner here.
Especially with a guy who can go the opposite way readily. And speaking of which, a lot of room down the right field line, Rob.
There is.
And they start him out. 1-0.
Yeah, they're shaded to pull. Center fielder's shaded a little bit. Right fielder's in that power alley, shaded a little towards right center. You know, big number 4 hitter.
Swing and a miss.
Out in front of that.
Rivera doubled in the first. They had a productive first. A couple of strikeouts, but then a walk and a double. Left him stranded.
2-1. Kind of an action pitch at most levels, 2-1, 2 outs. Again, you want to try and get that guy down to second. They don't only take 1 hit unless it's an extra base instead of 2. I'll take my chances with that 1. Outfielders playing deep as they should. You know, you look and you see, and the left fielder, for me, he could be going more gap. You want to really protect the gaps. Play deep here, no dives, no doubles, nothing over your head. You want to make sure that it takes 2 hits to beat you in this situation and not 1. So they've got a kind of almost a prevent defense per se in the outfield, and that's the way it should be, especially with the number 4 hitter, a guy like Rivera who can hit the ball hard.
Trey's 2-2. High. Throw down to second, a 1 hopper. The swipe tag not in time.
So he's in scoring position, 3-2. Now, here's an interesting situation. A lot of time with a 3-2 count like this, with a man on second with 2 outs, we'll try and go steal third now, too. Set up a first-third situation.
Even at this level.
Even at this level.
Even at 13 years.
Yep.
And it clipped him.
Yeah, there's ball 4 either way. Ball 4 either way. Brings up Mr. Lopez, Christian, the left fielder. Left-handed. Coach is going to give him a little talk to her. Man on first and second, 2 outs. No score here either.
Right. All the more reason for your previous prevent defense statement.
Right.
Looks like both of these pitchers really are at top form right now.
Yeah, you really can't give away too many things here. This is going to be a tough game, 2 very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, neither of these young men have thrown any innings according to our statistics sheet, the pitching lines so far in this tournament. So
I will
they've got
say,
plenty of room to go.
Oh, yeah, but Berkwich is one of their guys. He's one of their top 4 or 5. And this young man for the Motor City, he's one of their top 3 or 4 also. So they just haven't had to use them. They're pretty darn deep. And so they've saved a couple of their better ones for this game.
Christopher Lopez grounded out to the second baseman to end the first inning. His only plate appearance. Got Dorsonville on deck.
The dangerous Dorsonville.
Little pop.
That's trouble.
Behind the bag at second. Diving. The second baseman can't quite get there. The first run of the ball game coming in to score for Florida.
Big hit right there. Setting up another first-third situation.
Evans, comes in to the plate. Alvarez walked to start the inning, and then Wells hit into a 1-6-3 double play, and it looked like the rally may have been killed. But then the walk to Evans, he stole second. Rivera was hit by a pitch, and then Lopez with a little cue shot out over the second baseman's head to drive in the run.
Bowen just missed that. He dropped it, stepped, and went back on it and just missed. That was a tough play.
Did you see Bowen's first move? I didn't see his first move.
Yeah, Bowen had a nice drop step. He actually he played that very well. That's why I thought he had a chance, because he did play it well. Just a game of inches.
Yep. Dorsonville pops it back up and into the screen.
Off-speed pitch.
Count now even at 1.
Patelli hustling to go get that ball. The catcher for the stealth, and he's a tough kid. I kind of a heady kid, tough kid. I like the way he plays. Not the biggest kid in the world, but these kids can grow so much between 13 and 15 and 16. Some of the kids that are big, they stop growing. it's an interesting phenomenon. You see these kids when they're 15, 16, and they're totally different kids. And that's the hard thing. It's very difficult to project because you don't know who's going to grow and who's not.
Florida's got runners at the corners with 2 men gone in the third, and a high fly ball down the left field line that's hooking out of play. So far, Dorsonville with the safety single to start the second inning.
I really like what the Motor City guys are doing, and Trahey's locating. I like the fact that they work in. It's something that doesn't happen enough for me. They're going to go away now. And that's strike 3.
Yep. Caught Dorsonville in between swings on that one. Trahey gets out of the inning with no further damage coming across, but Florida provides themselves with the first lead of the ball game, 1-0 through 2.5 on travelballselect.com.
How important is confidence to success in travel baseball? 80% is the most common answer I get, and it may be even more. Baseball is hard enough the way it is, but I find that some of the biggest robbers of confidence in young players is their parents and coaches. So go to Play Big Travel Ball right now and get my free report, 3 hidden mistakes even top travel ball coaches make that crush player confidence and turn wins into losses. And I'll give you the fixes for them as well. So go get my free report at playbigtravelball.com.
Great hitters aren't born, they're made. Swing Away makes them.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. If you want to be a better hitter, all you have to do is swing away.
Now, all baseball players and softball players can train like the pros. Hit anywhere, anytime, inside or out. Players of all ages and skill levels can get serious and immediate results with the Swing Away.
Swing Away will make you a better hitter, period.
You're just a swing away from becoming a great hitter at swingaway.com.
Bottom of third from the historic East Cobb Baseball Complex here in Metro Atlanta. Alongside Rob Bruno, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us on TravelBallSelect.com. Lane Malshevsky, Reese Trahey, the pitcher, Jack Brockhouse, the first baseman, the guaranteed 3 here in the bottom of the third. Want to remind you folks that Travel Ball Select and Nations Baseball are proud to announce the 2015 Travel Ball National Championship will return to the prestigious East Cobb Baseball Complex in Atlanta for ages 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14U. All that in 2015. Now, the 13U will be in the 60-90 classification, the 60-90, 60 feet 6 inches from the mound and 90 in between the base pads for those the uninitiated. The 8U and 13U for 54-80 will return to Baseball USA in Texas. All that for 2015. Dates and all qualifying events, well, some have been posted on TravelBallSelect.com, and the remaining 3 spots, locations for qualifying events will be revealed on August 22nd. More details in just a moment. Ground ball down to short. Malshevsky retired.
We cannot forget the 6 inches off that 60 feet.
Right. Makes a big difference.
How they came up with that, but it seems to work, and the 90 feet seems to work. Yep. We have a lot of bang-bang plays.
The wildest thing, in my opinion, the most wild, simple thing about baseball, it really is. Reese Trahey now. First at-bat of the ball game for Reese. He hits a hard smash down to first. Great backhanded play. Get up, race to the bag, and slide into it, beating him, the first baseman. Great play by Chris Ferrara. What was better, beating him to the bag or the backhanded play?
Well, I thought it was just a great play all the way around. I always kind of worry that when they slide into there that there's going to be a little bit of a collision at first base.
Yeah.
Luckily, that did not happen.
Now Jack Brockhouse First at bat for Jack as well, obviously in the bottom half of the order. So, Travel Ball Select and Nations Baseball have announced 9 of the 12 locations for the 2015 Travel Ball National Championship qualifying events. And they are as follows: Miami, Louisville, and Atlanta, Houston, Charlotte, and Detroit, Birmingham, Chicago, and Las Vegas. One more time: Miami, Louisville, Atlanta, Houston, Charlotte, Detroit, Birmingham, Chicago, and Las Vegas. Into center field, falling base hit. Brockhouse reaches.
And I guess you can go to any of those. You can go to the closest one. You might want to go, if you're inclined to get some good food, you might want to go to Chicago. If you enjoy entertainment,
dogs, right?
I understand that Las Vegas has a little bit of things going on the weekends once in a while. It's kind of dead during the week, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And at night.
And did you say Miami?
You'd think I'd have it memorized. Let me read this again. Yeah, Miami, yeah.
Nothing goes on in South Beach, from what I know. No, so no destination spots there. And Louisville, I hear they have a horse race there once a year.
Jace Bowen with 2 men gone in the inning. Jace walked to start the day for Michigan. The other 3 locations, because again, there'll be 12, the other 3 will be announced again right here on TravelBallSelect.com on August 22nd. So in just a couple weeks. Ground ball down to third. Took his eye off of it, but stays with it and fires across the diamond. A great second effort for Ryan Rivera, and the inning comes to a close. Through 3 complete now in Atlanta. 1-0. Florida out in front of Michigan on TravelBallSelect.com.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
This is Nations Baseball.
Matty Ice to the plate, driven, high, deep, gone. Gets over the fence by about a foot.
Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
That's it. 3 in a row to first base, and that will end it.
One 0 Florida to the plate in the 4th. And they'll lead things off with Ben Hindman.
Mr. Patelli is retired. First pitch swinging.
Oh, thank you.
And Chris Ferrara, who's made a couple pretty nice plays over at first base. Showing a nice glove. Nice feet, stopping the ball and hustling over. Scooping a couple times.
Patelli now 0 for 2. Ferrara with a walk to his credit.
Trey, he's got a nice loose motion, just built like a pitcher. He's a tall kid. He's probably going to be 6'4", 6'5", for goodness sakes. Just got a nice presence on him now.
Right now he's 6'1", 150.
Yeah, that's about what he looks like, 6'1".
Deep left. Does it have the height to get over the fence? It'll hit off the base of the wall at about 317. Heading around around first and into second with a sliding double, Chris Ferrara.
Hit that a long way.
now Trent DeVoe. DeVoe with an RBI opportunity. Popped him up. That's going to stay in. Coming over, third baseman makes the call and the catch.
So I'm looking at the Motor City squad here, and Nino Puckett's listed at 6 foot, 200 pounds. If he's 200 pounds, I'm 220. And I believe last time I looked, I was 265 to 270. He's a big kid. My guess he's about 230. And put together, he's got huge legs.
So DeVoe retired on the pop-up.
Brings up the pitcher, Berkwich.
Yeah.
The youngster, the 12-year-old Nelson Berkwich. Bunted last time. Not quite as successful. 1-1.
Bunting for a hit with 2 men out in the inning, trying to surprise everybody, wasn't he?
Not well placed.
Right. Nelson waits. Trahey looks in and fires. And it's 1-2 now.
Christian, I know you're familiar with the Outliers book and talking about different dates and different things and why people are successful and and things. And the cutoff for the ages is May. Nice hit through the left side.
May turn into an RBI. They'll have to hold the man at third because it was on the left side and hit so hard. But a beautiful, beautiful piece of hitting there for Nelson Berkwich.
Berkwich hit the ball hard there. And
took an outside pinch with the other way.
He sure did. And 5 of the kids for the Motor City team were born in May. One, the 12th, the 4th again, the 31st, and then another one 31st. And that does help. That's they could literally be almost 11 months older than some of these kids.
Just made it.
Sure did.
Alvarez takes strike 1. Jordan, a strikeout and a walk, so he's been on both ends of the spectrum today so far. Reese checks the runner. Berkwich back diving safely. Or is that Berkwich? No, he's been pinch run for.
Yeah, he is courtesy runner.
Trey Newland. Trey Newland has come in to courtesy run for Nelson. In the dirt. Good stop by Mahanti.
Trey might weigh 80 pounds soaking wet. I'm over 3 of him.
You know, do I have their...
I don't know if we've got a height and weight.
Yeah, they didn't give it to us here.
Height is, he's over 5 feet maybe, and he's 80 pounds.
Ground ball to short.
Yeah, they'll go the short way.
Yes, they do. To retire the side. So another threatening inning for Florida, but they cannot push across that all-important second run. Stays at 1-0. Bottom half of the 4th. We're now halfway through in the 2014 13U Travel Ball National Championship game on TravelBallSelect.com.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10, and then notice what you're basing your assessment on. If you want extra credit, do the same for yourself. How are you sitting right now? How are you moving? How are you breathing? How confident 0 to 10 are you right now in whatever it is that you might be working on in your life? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, founder of the Play Big Academy, and for the last 30 years I've been studying confidence in baseball and business, all aspects of life, and what makes people take action boldly and confidently, and what has people wilt away under the pressure. If you want to take the first step, I give away my #1 secret, the Hall of Famer's secret. This is what I learned studying Hank Aaron, Rod Crew, Stan Musial, Carly Shrimpsky, interviewing them. This is the #1 secret. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com and do the exercise that's there and feel yourself take that boost to the next level. It's your first step. Go to TravelBallSecrets.com.
Heineman, Schwellenbach, and Puckett home half of the 4th inning. Remember, a 7-inning ball game here in the 13U Travel Ball National Championship. And a ball to start. Heineman. Been a sacrifice bunt, recorded 1-3 his first time up. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball there. Pretty sharp breaking ball, not a looper. Fastball out of his hand. That's a sign of a good pitcher.
Lefty kicks and fires. This one fired in the right for a base hit. This
play
could be
first
close
base.
at first. Safe.
He beat it. He beat it. You know, you won't see that at a high level, but at a 13-year-old level, when a right fielder cheats in a little bit with a line drive like that, they do have a chance, especially if the guy has a good arm and comes up throwing, and he did. That said, Heineman got down the line very well. He's hitting 2 for a reason. He can run a little bit, and now they go to their number 3 guy, Schwellenbach, and really it's an inning where they really need to answer here. They've got their 2, 3, 4. They've got to get something going here.
This kind of reminds you, in my opinion, of the inning we saw in our last ball
That's
game,
right.
where you knew something was probably going to happen. And, of course, East Cobb went on to score. What did they score in that inning?
They scored 7, I believe. Oh, look at that.
Fair ball down the left field line. Schwellenbach's got
to
himself
second,
extra
third.
bases potentially. Runner headed into third. This could be close, but instead he'll slide in safely without any sort of challenge.
He just had a feeling, you're right, that this was going to be that inning, and it certainly happened in spades. And big Nino Puckett here. I believe he might be over 200 pounds. What do you think? 6 foot, maybe over 2?
Yeah, I think that's fair, sure. 205. He's probably not that much over it, much as we think initially, you know.
He's every bit 230.
You think so?
Oh, gosh, yes.
No, I don't think
Look at those shoulders and legs. Those legs are huge.
I'll let you go ask him in between ball games.
I'll say, sir? Sir?
Hey, pardon me, sir. Pardon me.
Yeah,
Pardon me.
You know, he's built like a lot, and I've seen him as a young Prince fielder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, he's got some thunder in his bat. He really hits the ball hard. He's a big man, but he's a very athletic guy.
Right-hander stands wand waving. Lefty Berkwich deals, and it's off the plate to even the count at 1. Puckett.
The thing that tells me
flew out to right his first time up.
Yeah, the thing that tells me he's a good hitter also is he really takes that outside pitch and goes with that. That tells me he's a disciplined hitter.
Got a chance to give his team the lead. Fires this one down the right side, but foul. Single by Heineman. Double by Schwellenbach. Nobody out. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Nino Puckett at the plate. Fly ball away from a tie ball game. Back into the screen. Amy Walker should have had that one. What do you come with on 2-2? This is the pitch.
You work around him. You give him,
yeah.
Try and get him out. Get himself out. There's
Center
his power
field now
alley.
carrying into right center field, headed for the fence, and a diving attempt by the center fielder, and he can't make the grab. The tying run is scored now, rounding third, and coming to the plate is Schwellenbach. It's a 2 RBI, game-changing double for Nino Puckett. From down 1-0 to a 2-1 lead. And now Orlowski.
All over it.
Jack, the Hit Dogs' third baseman, with a strikeout to start the 2nd inning.
And that's been Puckett's power right there. Little oppo, stays on it really nicely. Hit that ball a long way. You've got an open bag here. You got a number 4 hitter up here. Center fielder got banged up a little bit. They're checking to see how he's doing. They might flip actually the center fielder right fielder just because he might be banged up a little bit. They're going to remove him. He's banged up. I think they're going to put in a right fielder and move a center fielder, and they're moving some guys around. What they're going to do is they're going to get the left fielder loose.
Yep, get him ready to pitch.
Yeah, and I like that.
So left fielder into the dugout. Right fielder over to left.
Yeah, Mr.
And a man
Christian
comes
Lopez
in from the bench
to
take over and right.
We'll Lopez is probably going to go down right down to the bullpen, right? Go get loose. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, it was Chris Lopez. You're right. That was out and left.
Mm-hmm. So he's going down to the bullpen, and another left-hander, one of their better guys.
So Dorsonville heads to left. Center fielder stays the same.
And the big kid Orlowski, I like this kid hitting. He's got a great setup. Got an open bag here.
And lines one right at the shortstop for out number 1.
Puckett does a nice job freezing on that, making sure. Another big, strong kid here, Mahanti. This is a physical team, Chris. They're big boys.
Devin with a single in the second.
Big catcher. 1-out situation.
Puckett got the speed to score from second on a single.
You know, he's not slow. He's not fast, but he gets pretty good jumps.
He's not quite as slow as you may imagine.
No,
right?
He's a little bit better athlete than you would think, being a man that size. And, you know, just like Prince Fielder, once he got going, my goodness, he can turn it over pretty darn good. And if you hit a double, he's going to score.
Well, you know as well as I do what the key to that is: anticipation and quick feet.
That's right.
Strike inside corner.
I used to always say I could score from second on a triple. So I had that going for me. Good first step. The second and third were the same, though. That was the unfortunate part.
Berkwich, the 1-2. Curveball off the outside corner that sent foul on the right side.
You know, there's a situation where they lined up in and miss over kind of middle out, and that's dangerous.
Mahanti waits. Berkwich gets a sign that he likes and brings home the 1-2. Which tails high. Throw down to second. Goes through the wickets of the third baseman Rivera and into left field for a hit.
And the big fella can move a little bit.
The big man comes into the plate, and that error is so very costly.
He got a nice jump. He got up nicely and got down the line pretty darn good for a big man. Again, he's much more agile than you would think, but you know his last name is Puckett, so he's got those genetics.
3-1, your score now.
That's a big run.
Indeed.
You know, a 2-run lead, much different than a 1-run lead. Oh, that
and now this one smoked into center field. Diving the center fielder this time makes the grab.
He's got banged up a little bit. He might have hurt his wrist on that.
He's been hurt since that last play. You called it Jordan Alvarez.
Right. He got banged up a little bit.
So Berkwich trying to get out of the inning at 3-1 now with nobody on base.
Yeah, just an unfortunate throw past a third baseman.
Carter Macias waits the first one. And Berkwich throws him a breaking ball that hits the outside corner for strike number 1.
It's actually Mr. Jackson hitting right now. We got a pinch hitter, number 7, Jackson.
Oh, thank you.
Little things like that. That's why I'm here, by golly.
Caleb Jackson, to be precise.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good eye.
Well, the first sign was that I saw his name was Jackson on the back of his shirt. That was my tell sign right there.
Popped him up. Yep. Second baseman there.
Does a nice job on that drop step right there. Good
Wells.
job, Wells. Yeah.
Yep.
They're really solid up the middle with Wells and Evans. So 3 runs though, Chris.
3 runs in the bottom half of the 4th, and now Michigan with a lead and 3 innings to play on travelballselect.com.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. And the only anti-glare product that I use is Warrior Black, and you should too.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring it to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Florida batters to the plate in the 5th inning, and this ball game has taken on a completely different complexion now. Throw by the shortstop, pulls the first baseman off the bag. Wisely, he goes down to tag the runner, but they'll call the out on the initial swipe, as Wells was the batter. Nicholas now will be 0 for 3.
The after doesn't matter. The after doesn't matter because he's past the bag. It doesn't. Still. I know. But it sounds good for you. It sounds good for you. It does. Are you getting that on? As long as you're happy. Are you getting that? Absolutely not.
Men in blue having a conversation about it. And I will call Wells out. 6-3 officially.
And he did get him initially there, it looked like, too. I don't know why he went back. You never really want to go back and make that second tag.
Right. Gives the umpire something else to think about, doesn't it? Yeah. Now Garrett Evans. He of 2 base on balls and 2, well, plate appearances, although unofficial, obviously. I'm going to assume you all know your baseball rules out there. Does have a stolen base to his credit, which I always found funny.
Good shortstop too.
If you've got 2 walks and you haven't made any official plate appearances yet, you can steal bases and score runs.
That's right.
Isn't that funny? Funny thing about baseball. Yeah.
Almost a Moonlight Graham situation.
Oh, don't get me started.
Favorite movie?
Yeah, we had this. Yeah,
That's
we had
right.
it. Yeah. Hey, I can't.
That
might be my. That might be
The
mine.
Natural.
Yeah, I love The Natural too.
Those are your 2 favorite, and those are my 2 favorite.
Yeah. I think Major
Now,
League is a very, very close third for me.
If I remember correctly, and I might, you watch those 2 movies each year.
I do.
At certain times.
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
So I was paying attention.
You're the only person at this table paying attention to me during the broadcast.
And rightfully so. One for one, by the way, and on base all 3 times.
Yes, indeed he is.
How about that?
As I say that, I look over at Amy Walker our producer director extraordinaire, whom I've known for years and I count as a dear friend.
Who was
she
our
says,
boss?
"Are you talking to me?"
In a Robert De Niro way.
Wait, yeah, right.
I'm
yeah.
the only one here.
Yeah. You must be talking to me. Ryan Rivera to the plate now. Ryan, a double in the first inning. He was stranded. He was hit by a pitch in the third, and he was part of that 3-run uprising. Or I say in the third.
Evans was leaning.
Not the 3-run uprising, pardon me. Obviously, that was Motor City I was thinking of. He scored. Was part of that third inning where Florida put a run on the board to take the lead.
And Evans runs well. He was leaning there.
Throw down. Safe.
The throw beat it. Ball was bobbled by the shortstop and throws a little bit down. And now he's in scoring position with the 4 or 5 guys up now. Rivera, Lopez. I believe Lopez got a knock last time, didn't he?
He did, indeed.
There
yeah.
you are. Rivera got a double the first inning into that left field corner. So they got their guys up.
Sweeps outside. 2-1. Off speed?
A bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to give in right now. And 4-hitter up. You got an open bag. Make him get himself out.
Ground ball down to third. Oh, and it hops right over the third baseman's glove and into left field for a base hit. That's a tough scoring of an error if you're going to give him an error.
We're going to score that a hit.
I think that's a hit as well.
This is always a big situation. You know, when anything high school or below, first, third situations, 1 out, you can do a plethora of things here. You can do a thing where you can bunt through the 4-hole and get a for sure run. Great time for hit and run. That's in this situation with a 5-hitter, good hitter. This is my favorite situation. Good time for hit and run. Stay out of the double play.
Ground ball down to first. They'll get the force at second. Back to first.
Great
in
play.
time for the double play.
I'll tell you, Chris, that's as good a play as you're ever going to hit. 3 to 6 to 1. The pitcher did a great job covering first base. That's a big league play, and that was a backbreaker because they had their guys there, and that's going to big turn in this ball game right now.
And the score stays 3-1 to the bottom of the 5th on TravelBallSelect.com.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10, and then notice what you're basing your assessment on. If you want extra credit, do the same for yourself. How are you sitting right now? How are you moving? How are you breathing? How confident 0 to 10 are you right now in whatever it is that you might be working on in your life? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, founder of the Play Big Academy, and for the last 30 years, I've been studying confidence in baseball and business, all aspects of life, and what makes people take action boldly and confidently, and what has people wilt away under the pressure. If you want to take the first step, where I give away my #1 secret, the Hall of Famer's secret, this is what I learned studying Hank Aaron, Rod Crew, Stan Musial, Carly Yastrzemski, interviewing them. This is the #1 secret. Go to travelballsecrets.com and do the exercise that's there and feel yourself take that boost to the next level. It's your first step. Go to travelballsecrets.com.
Lane Malshevsky to lead things off here in the home half of the 5th inning. The Hit Dogs of Motor City from Michigan. This is Michigan versus Florida in the 2014-13U Travel Ball National Championship game. Look at this little cue shot falling out into right for Malshevsky to reach.
after 3 weeks, Chris, of watching these national championships, we talk about the Sun Belt, the Georgias, the Floridas, the Texases, and the Californias, but I've got a real respect for the teams that come from the north. There's some outstanding teams that have really shown extremely well out here.
Yeah, Midwestern programs, right? Indiana.
They're really on the rise.
Kansas.
They can
State
play with
Kansas,
anybody.
right?
Mack and Seitz from Kansas City, Missouri,
right.
and this
Yeah,
hit dog
Missouri,
team.
right?
Oh,
Michigan.
they've been fantastic. And a lot of these groups, they've really shown well. They can play with anybody in the country.
Reese Trahey going to be coming to the plate here in just a moment. Did Berkwich just get lifted from the ball game?
I believe they did.
Yeah.
We got a new guy here.
Home plate umpire's got me screened out here, so you'll have to forgive me for.
And the young man threw a really nice game.
No.
Is this still him?
No, Berkwich is still out there.
Okay, excuse me. And he's still throwing a nice game.
He really is. He's had a good ball game, despite the fact that he trails 3-1. They've not exactly beat him around. Little cue shot off the end of the bat, yeah. 0-1. Reese a ground out to the first baseman unassisted in his only plate appearance as the second man of the third inning. Having said that, a man has reached in every inning for Michigan in this ball game, including this one. Only 4 men came to the plate in the third off of Berkwich. That was his quickest inning. Got the first 2 guys easy, gave up a hit to Brockhouse at the bottom of the order, and then retired Bowen in a 4-man. Well, actually, check that. He had a 3-batter inning in the second. Strikeout single, and then a 5-4-3 double play. And Michigan knows they're 6 outs away from a national title. Berkwich checks the runner, kicks and fires.
And that could be a long 6 outs. That's hard to wait.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times, a couple dozen, and it's, you also say 6 outs. Okay, now 5. Now we're playing 4. Kind of in your head. But you got to keep playing.
Right.
And just keep working away. A little snap throw over there. You have to grind all 21 outs. And the team that can do that is the team that's going to be the victor.
I know an old coach who used to say, don't count outs, just count strikes that you need. And I asked him years later, now what was your motivation for that? He said, because nobody will ever count more than 1 at-bat worth of strikes. And he doesn't want anybody thinking about it until you get down to the last out.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much the same adage of taking it pitch by pitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Pop up.
Third base is going to cut that off.
Yes, he is,
Yeah.
for out number 1.
I had a great coach in my area who did a lot of work with my kids, and Ray Ivesovich. Ray always would say, take care of the pennies and the dollars will follow.
Yep.
I always liked that.
Got a new man at the plate here.
Yep, Mr. Cieslak.
Justin Cieslak. And Justin takes a breaking ball outside corner for strike 1. Cieslak pinch hitting here for Jack Brockhouse. Jack's day done with just a single to his credit. Ho-hum, 1 for 1 with a hit in the third.
Although he could come back in. I believe that there's reentry rules. There's high school. There's pro rules, except for some high school modifications. One of them, obviously, and that's not even a high school rule, is the EH, which we kind of both like.
I like Cieslak's socks.
Oh, you got to like the stirrups. They're outstanding stirrups. And he
Deep
hits
left.
that ball hard right at him.
I like
right
his
at
swing
him.
as well. Left fielder had
Yeah.
him played perfectly. 2 men gone.
Another pinch hitter, possibly. Nope. This is back to Bowen, leadoff guy.
Yeah, back to the top of the order. I was about to say, boy.
Right.
If they were pinch hitting for Bowen, this would be
that would
a
be
little unusual.
Bowen is hitting for Bowen here. Bowen for dollars right here.
Throw down to second with the runner breaking, and he's safe. Stolen base.
Fielder took that a little too far in front of the bag, but it's maybe not going to quite get there anyway. So you got a 2-out situation. Now he's in scoring position. Bowen's good hitter, good leadoff guy. Hits the ball hard.
And that's a monumental run out there, Rob. That could be a championship-winning run right there.
It is. From 2 runs to 3 runs is really big. 1 to 2 is huge. 2 to 3, that's just another nice padding. Second baseman's really cheating over there. That worries me.
At third, can't be cut off by the third baseman. Shortstop instead on a 1-hop down to first. It gets away from the first baseman. Malshevsky stumbles down the third base line and finally will make it to the plate without a play as the ball went into the dugout of the Florida Stealth. And with the missed throw and the ball going out of bounds, so to speak, out of play, I suppose, Malshevsky scores. It's now 4-1.
Very easily could have been a play over at third base also coming home. The runner tripped around third base, lost his footing, and there very easily could have been a play there if he picked it up clean. Heineman, who's good-looking 2-hitter, pretty mature kid, and not too many kids that I know that are 13 that have beards. He could grow a better beard than I can.
At this point, you're just showing off, Ben. What are you doing to me here? No, actually, I can't talk. We had this conversation last week, too.
Yeah.
I was shaving at his age also, and I'm not bragging. You know how much responsibility it is to be a 13-year-old and have to shave?
And that will end it today.
Yep.
For Mr. Berkwich.
Yeah.
Nelson threw a very good game. What a solid effort by that young man, the 12-year-old. He's playing up a full year, and that's a big deal.
And so, as we suspected, the new man on the mound will, in fact, be Christopher Lopez. He's been ready for some time. The Stealth going to run the left-hander out there to take over for another lefty. Nelson Berkwich out, Christopher Lopez in. And he'll be charged with the task of trying to end this rally here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. His team now down 4-1, and Ben Heineman coming to the plate. And if Heineman can reach with 2 men out, Spencer Schwellenbach would be behind him, and then Nino Puckett. But if we see Nino Puckett, then the Stealth are in a bit of trouble. Want to take this opportunity to remind you folks, coming up at about 3:45 Eastern Time here in the Metro Atlanta area. Nope, looks like we'll be past 3:45 as I now check the time on ye old trusty iPhone. 15 or 20 minutes after the conclusion of this ball game now is the way we'll say it. That's where we're at now. We'll have the 14U Travel Ball Select National Championship game between the Astros of East Cobb and the NorCal squad from Northern California. So it'll be California versus Georgia. NorCal versus East Cobb. Atlanta versus roughly San Francisco. A lot of people looking forward to that matchup. Christopher Lopez checks the runner at second, looks in and fires. Ground ball down to first. That eats up the first baseman and goes into right field for a hit. They're going to wave the runner to the plate. It gets away from the right fielder out in right, scoring the 5th run of the ball game, and stopping at second is Heineman. So scored as a single into right by Heineman. You can give him the RBI because he was well around second. He did not score because of the error out in right, but you give the RBI on the single to Heineman, and that's just it. It stays as a single for Heineman, and he takes second on the error by the right fielder. And now Schwellenbach. Swing and a miss. Spencer, sacrifice fly F8. His first time up. And then a double as the second place man of the fourth inning, in which they put 3 runs on the board. That's just last inning. Feels like forever ago. Fastball outside from Lopez. Deep drive. Left fielder moving back. Got a beat on it. Makes an over-the-shoulder grab right at the track to end the inning. But 2 more runs come across for Michigan, and they now lead 5-1, 6 outs away from a national championship on TravelBallSelect.com.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10, and then notice what you're basing your assessment on. If you want extra credit, do the same for yourself. How are you sitting right now? How are you moving? How are you breathing? How confident 0 to 10 are you right now in whatever it is that you might be working on in your life? I'm Dr. Tom Hansen, founder of the Play Big Academy, and for the last 30 years, I've been studying confidence in baseball and business, all aspects of life, and what makes people take action boldly and confidently, and what has people wilt away under the pressure. If you want to take the first step, where I give away my #1 secret, the Hall of Famer's secret, this is what I learned studying Hank Aaron, Rod Crew, Stan Musial, Carly Yastrzemski, interviewing them. This is the #1 secret. Go to travelballsecrets.com and do the exercise that's there and feel yourself take that boost to the next level. It's your first step. Go to travelballsecrets.com.
Ball 1 to start the top half of the 6th inning. Dane Dorsonville, Nicholas Patelli, and Chris Ferrara. Visitors half of the 6th inning. And ground ball down to short. Takes his time, fires across the diamond, and easy out #1, Schwellenbach. Schwellenbach fielded that one like he had all day to throw out Dorsonville. 6-3. Dane is retired for the 2nd consecutive at-bat. Dane now 1 for 2 with a single to, or 1 for 3 with a single to his credit. Now Patelli. Nicholas, a ground out in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 2 so far.
Just had a nice little interview for a little project that we're doing with the Motor City team. That was quite a momentum changer with that 3-6-1 double play, followed up by 2 insurance runs there. Chris, it really changed the complexion of this.
Right. Yeah, Florida had all the momentum going into that 4th inning and a 1-0 lead. All turned around in 2 at-bats and 1 defensive stand, didn't it?
Sure did. Sure did. I thought Berkwish really showed something else on the mound. 12-year-old there.
Ground ball down to first.
Easy play.
Big hop. Patelli retired.
And that was a quick 2 outs. Again, as the coach said over there, this team doesn't quit, but they're sure making it tough on themselves with 2 quick outs like that, and they're only down to 4 more outs, and that's a tough deal. You can only come back and go to the well so many times. Right. Ferrara now batting. Got a nice knock last time, I believe.
Yeah, double. Chris,
yeah,
1 for 1 with a double and a walk, so he's reached both times. And he's behind 0-2.
Very quickly. On deck guy should be getting that, and he's a little bit oblivious to that. It's one of those things you just learn.
Reese Trahey got a real chance to go the distance.
Kept the pitch count down.
Yep. You read my mind. That was my next point. Exactly so. Yeah, he's had some quick innings, or, quick in relative terms between two great teams in a national championship game.
Right.
If you can get out with 4 or 5 batters at the plate, that's a quick inning. He's had 2 5-batter innings, three 5-batter innings, as a matter of fact.
And he's had a couple innings where he's been able to rest a little bit on the bench.
Yes.
They've had some extended innings.
Absolutely, great
Makes
point.
a difference.
Yes. And in the middle of the ball game as well, right?
Right.
Over the last 2 innings.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
It's not getting any cool. The on-deck guy's now going to figure it out. And there he goes. He was intent on thinking about, what am I going to do when I come up? And DeVoe had a nice tournament up there, number 4.
Ferrara came battling all the way back from 0-2 to draw the base on balls. What a great at-bat for the first baseman.
They're going to go talk to him. He's got to be getting a little bit tired here, even though he's had a decent pitch count. And just the pitcher and the catcher and the coach are going to talk. He's sending everybody back. You hate those 2-out, nobody on walks. Almost as much as you hate the no-out, nobody on walks. And I guess I don't like walks at all, but the 2-out walks are killers.
Perfect case scenario. Obviously, you'd love for Trahey to be able to go the distance here, but at the very least, you want to squeeze as many outs of him as you can, but especially with 2 outs in the 6th. Really want that last out of this inning. He'll get to DeVoe. A ground out, or consecutive ground outs to start this 6th inning, I suppose. And then the walk to Ferrara. So DeVoe with 2 men out. And a strike on the outside corner.
Some might say that was a little bit down. As a rule, I think our umpires have done outstanding today. Good strike zone.
In the dirt.
John Turner behind
breaks
him.
to second.
Turner's outstanding. This whole crew is really a top-notch crew. We've seen Chris Mazzoni out there a lot out at second base, and yes, he is related to Leo. Don't know if he's quite as good a pitching coach as Leo. Don't know if he had quite the talent to work with as Leo. That's a good pitch.
Boy.
That's a good strike.
DeVoe, a sac fly out, and a pop up to third. Sitting on an 0-for-2 day. In the dirt again. To the wickets of Mahanti again.
Yeah.
2 wild pitches, and I don't mean this to sound like I'm certainly not picking on the guy, but technically those will be wild pitches, but
yeah,
they were right through the wickets of
Mahanti,
Mahanti, though.
Yeah.
He should be making those stops, yeah, and he'll be the first guy to tell you that.
Yeah, and again, it's later in the day. It's
Yeah.
getting a little tougher.
Oh, yeah.
You have to really concentrate a little bit more, but he's done a pretty good job as a rule.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's been tremendous behind the plate today, no doubting that.
New hitter up next on deck, Mr. Trey Newland, who came in for Berkwich in that situation where Berkwich came out.
And he missed it.
And here comes Mr. Newland, who is I would say a good word to describe him would be diminutive. About 80 pounds, but I will tell you this. He's got an 80-pound heart. I mean, this kid can really hit the ball, and he's been a real spark plug for these guys, and they're going to make a change. Newland, though, as a kid who's made some great catches out there, he's got some older brothers that are like 6'2". So it's only time where he's going to grow. And they're making a change on the mound.
Yeah, this is certainly the last thing that Carmazza wanted to do in his squad, but They will, in fact, make the change, as you mentioned, and wait and see who the new moundsman is going to be. As Trahey's done, day is done. Reese was absolutely tremendous today. Reese going to stay in the ball game. And I'm going to bet you a dime to a dollar wherever he's going. That may be our next pitcher. He heads out to the outfield. I think Ben Hindman is going to be the new man on the mound.
The big lefty.
It is, in fact, Hindman. Been through 4 innings here on Wednesday in day 1's action. Oh boy, wait a minute now. How about this? That's why we saw 2 changes. We saw Hindman head out and an outfielder come out as well. And then Trahey took his spot. So Hindman comes out from right and onto the mound. Trahey stays in the ball game and heads to the outfield himself. And here's the real reason I get into all that. Rob, you're going to love this. How many innings does the big guy have left?
Right.
A third.
Ah.
A third of an inning.
So
That's
he's going this inning.
Right.
Is what you're telling me.
This is it. He threw 4 innings on Wednesday and 6 2/3 yesterday. Now, wait a minute. I thought 6 was the limit for one-day play.
7 for the 13 and 14-year-olds.
Okay,
right, because they move up. They're a little bit older, bigger field, etc.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Okay. So, do the quick math. That's 10 2/3. And, of course, the one thing that doesn't change, right, is that they can only have 11 innings.
That's correct.
Right.
That's
no matter
correct.
the classification. Right, okay.
He's got one more third.
So he'll try to get his team out of this inning, and then we will see a new pitcher in the 7th. Big lefty deals to the tiny righty. And Newland hits a little cue shot out into right center field for a base hit.
Third.
How about
big
that?
Big play here.
It'll be close. No, it won't. It'll hop over the third baseman, go into the dugout,
and Newland's going to go to
2
third.
runs end up scoring.
They're right back in this, Chris.
Wow.
This team never says quit, never says die. 5-3 now.
The RBI single for Newland. Alvarez to the plate. A second runner scores on the wild throw and error. And brother, that is exactly what they needed.
Yeah.
At least to get 2 runs this inning. Perfect case scenario for him.
As we said earlier, Newland shows pop for a guy that's not the biggest guy in the world. And again, he's going to grow. He's got brothers 6'2", his dad's like tall, and it's just a matter of time. But
bat speed.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jimmy Rollins hit 30 home runs one year at 5'8". Pedroia can go deep. Those guys, it's all about bat speed and timing.
Yep. Jordan Alvarez now, a strikeout, a walk, hitting to a fielder's choice. And an even count right now.
That was a good pitch on the inside corner on the knees. Not easy. Little floater. Stayed out. Didn't finish that pitch.
Hindman kicks and fires, and it's popped up into right.
Should be an easy play.
I believe that's Trey to make the catch. That's kind of fitting that he would make the catch out in right and the final out of the 6th inning. But 2 runs come across, and it'll be a dramatic 7th inning whenever we get there. First, the bottom half of the 6th on travelballselect.com.
How important is confidence to success in travel baseball? 80% is the most common answer I get, and it may be even more. Baseball is hard enough the way it is, but I find that some of the biggest robbers of confidence in young players is their parents and coaches. So go to Play Big Travel Ball right now and get my free report, 3 hidden mistakes even top travel ball coaches make that crush player confidence and turn wins into losses. And I'll give you the fixes for them as well. So go get my free report at playbigtravelball.com.
Great hitters aren't born, they're made. Swing Away makes them.
Hi, I'm Bryce Harper. If you want to be a better hitter, all you have to do is swing away.
Now, all baseball players and softball players can train like the pros. Hit anywhere, anytime, inside or out. Players of all ages and skill levels can get serious and immediate results with the Swing Away.
Swing Away will make you a better hitter, period.
You're just a swing away from becoming a great hitter at swingaway.com.
Puckett, Orlowski, and Mahanti in the home half of the 6th inning. The Hit Dogs of Motor City, or as you see on your screen there, Michigan. Michigan versus Florida for the 2014 13U Travel Ball National Championship. And Puckett, a hard ground ball down to third. Fielding, throwing across the diamond for the out. Ryan Rivera, no problem with that one. Puckett now falls to 1 for 3. Puckett fly out, a ground out, and a big 2 RBI double. Brand new ball game at 5-3. If you're just tuning in, Florida just put 2 runs on the board in the top half of the 6th inning to draw back to within 5-3 after consecutive innings where Motor City took the lead and then added to it. Great grab out in left.
Outstanding catch.
Super play by Dorsonville.
Went and got that thing, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And now Mahanti.
The big catcher.
Orlowski, by the way, drops to 0 for 3 in the ball game.
Put a charge in that.
Devin a single in the 2nd and a fly out in the 4th. And an 0-1 count. Make it 0-2. Florida took the first lead of the ball game with a single run in the 3rd. And then 2 innings later, Michigan with a 3 spot in the bottom half of the 4th claimed the lead. 2 in the bottom of the 5th added to their lead. And Florida chipped away for 2 runs in the 6th to climb back to 5-3. And it looks like, and it will be, a 5-3 ball game to the bottom, the top half of the final frame. Michigan tries to win the national championship when we come back.
Years before he was Sports Illustrated's chosen one, TravelBallSelect.com had already chosen 11-year-old Bryce Harper as an All-American. Go to the source for travel baseball national rankings and All-America teams, TravelBallSelect.com.
This is Nations Baseball.
Matty Ice to the plate, driven, high, deep, gone. Gets over the fence by about a foot.
Nations Baseball features the most complete roster and team classification systems in the country, allowing for true class play, matching teams of equal skill levels better than any other organization on the planet. Teams compete in Metro, Select, Elite, and Premier classes in leagues and tournaments around the nation for a chance to attend World Series and National Championship events in the most attractive locations in the country.
That's it. 3 in a row to first base, and that will end it.
Here's a game I invite you to play during the next half inning. Rate each player from 0 to 10 how confident he looks. How confident you think each guy is. Rate him 0 to 10, and then notice
The final frame in the 2014-13U National Championship game starts with a strike. It'll be Nicholas Wells, Garrett Evans, and Ryan Rivera. And the national championship is on the line.
And Chris, a little clarification. We were going back and forth how many innings in the tournament. That's a strike. And for the younger guys, 9 to 12, it is 11 innings, and it's 12 for the 13s and 14s. So Mr. Hyman has one more inning to go. He's fine. He's fine. And those coaches are right on it, and I'm glad they are. That's the important thing.
Oh, boy, a breaking ball right down the heart of the plate that must have been low.
A little bit down, a little bit down.
Nicholas Wells, a strikeout in the first, a double play hit in 2 in the third, and he grounded out to short in the 5th. Alongside Rob Bruno, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us here on TravelBallSelect.com. Ground ball down to third, fielding, throwing, one man out. Orlowski over to first, Puckett for the out. Garrett Evans now. Evans has been so productive today. 2 walks and a single with 2 stolen bases as well. This is a guy you do not want on the base paths if you're Michigan. Michigan and Florida in the 2014-13U National Championship game. And Evans takes a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Ben Hindman trying to record the final 4 outs of the national championship game and win the national title for his team. For those of you just tuning in, a single run in the top of the 3rd for Florida, and they claim the lead. First the pitch, which is skied to left and deep. Going back, the left fielder to the track and the wall, makes a leaping grab over his shoulder. He cannot get it. Headed for second and in with a stand-up, 1-out double is Garrett Evans.
Typical stealth team here. Never say die. Tie guy on second base. Rivera, one of their guys for years at the plate. This is a resilient bunch.
Yeah. Florida again scored a run in the 3rd to take the first lead of the ball game. Michigan came back to score 3 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th to build their lead to 5-1. And then just last inning, 2 runs in the top half of the 6th for Florida brought us to a 5-3 ball game. And that's where we stand with 1 man gone in the top half of the final frame. A ground out and a double in the inning. And Ryan Rivera to the plate. He's reached all 3 times. Just really quick, Rob, a double, a hit batter, and a single.
So I'm going to correct myself. The tying run is actually at home now. I said it's second. I meant home. 5-3 game. But Rivera's had obviously a great day. A good pitch there. Start off. A little off speed.
Yeah, the meat of their production's been at 3-4 with Evans and Rivera.
Missed away. As
you would expect, of course.
Sure. 3, 4, 5.
Right. All 7 times Evans and Rivera have come to the plate so far. They've reached. Wow, how about those numbers? 2 doubles, 2 singles, 2 walks, and an HBP. And 7 at-bats for these 2 guys. A strike on the outside corner.
A little floating strike up there, a little floating breaking ball. Tough one to take. That ball is up, and that ball is drivable.
A lot of energy in this place, Rob. I mean, a lot of energy.
Yeah.
This is a great time to be at these parks because you've also got the friends and family of the 14U National Championship game in the house as well. And don't forget, we'll have the 14U National Championship coming up next here on TravelBallSelect.com. NorCal and Georgia.
There were just a ton of games going on at the same time yesterday. There must have been 400 people watching that game with East Cobb and NorCal yesterday. Unbelievable. Great crowd. I mean, all the teams were there watching. It was incredible.
Hindman to Rivera. Breaking ball that sweeps well outside. He didn't snap that one off cleanly.
He's had a little problems with that breaking ball, but his fastball seems to be pretty good. Mahanti's doing a good job behind the dish there, and he got a little dirt in his eyes earlier there, and we had a little break. Big, strong kid behind the dish.
Lefties 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and 2 men gone. Fastball.
Absolutely, tailing fastball, good 2-seamer.
And that'll bring us to Christopher Lopez. Chris, a ground out in the first, an RBI single in the third, and he hit into that incredible double play that was turned by the Motor City Hit Dogs in the fifth to end that fifth inning.
We've got some good rambunctious fans over
Indeed.
here. The Motor City Hit Dogs. Who's to blame them? They're excited. Their kids are playing great.
In the dirt, Evans thought about it, but
he thought
Mahonti
properly
did a
not
great
to
job,
go.
yeah.
Yep. Mahonti did a good job of keeping the ball in front of him. Got a good arm behind the dish.
Then snapped it off too tight. You know, the young man got to be a little bit nervous. Lefty looks in, gets a sign that he likes, and the 1-0 to Lopez. Upstairs.
A little bit up. 2-0. So again, he's got to get on base to be that make that tying run effective. You know, some people would take here, especially lefty. You might put a take on.
Checks the runner, kicks and fires.
Not taking.
Shot foul. 2-1.
Not taking. And again, he swung the bat well. Dorsonville, a very good hitter up next.
A ground out, a double and a strikeout in the inning. Ben Hindman kicks and fires, and it's in the dirt.
Not really locating with that breaking ball. Fastball's been his best pitch. Now Ferrara's got to be kind of picky here. He's got to look for something he can drive, and they've got to throw him one more strike out of these next two.
3-1. Ground ball, headed up the middle. Second baseman charging, tries to backhand, throws to first. Puckett digs it out. In time? Yes, sir, in time! And Michigan wins the national championship.
Great pick by Puckett to end that thing, and we've got a world-class dog pile. World-class dog pile right there. That's
the
a
call
great
was
play.
made while Puckett was on the seat of his pants, and he popped up, dropped his glove, and joined the celebration as the Hit Dogs of Motor City win the 2014 13U Travel Ball National Championship. Rob, what a couple of teams!
What a great thing! And here's a team from the north coming in, Motor City, a little bit unheralded. They're as good a club as there is in the country right now at 13, and they proved it today. Congratulations to them. Great job by the Stealth coming back game after game. We couldn't ask for more for a championship game today, Chris.
Jace Bowen does an amazing job at second base of getting over to that ball, taking the tiny steps needed, the tiny steps to get his body in position, backhand that play, and then fire over to first for the final out of the ball game. 5-3 is your final. The Hit Dogs of Motor City take out the Stealth from Florida. Michigan beats Florida in the 13U Travel Ball National Championship. For our entire crew, including Fred Eggers and, of course, Amy Walker and Rob Bruno, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Stay tuned for live continuing coverage of the trophy presentation coming up next here on TravelBallSelect.com. Michigan, the Motor City Hit Dogs win the 2014 13U Travel Ball Select National Championship. guess I need to do some writing anyways.
Good job, Scope.
Hits. Let's see. It's hits. Kidding me? Northern California team I got to see outscore their opponents in the pool play 35-1. That's good. That's good. That's pretty good. That's not very quiet.
Traffic actually wasn't too bad though. Yeah. Not too many 18 wheelers. How was it mean? Made up in under 2 hours. Dinner at your house. I was read last night about it. This morning. Did they? Yeah, it was fun. Right. Traffic was horrible. Wow. Charlotte, here, all these big cities, big. Thank God. But ours is preferred. You know, I came back from my team. I just brought me the peak mile and then straight up to my hotel, not all 170.